This conference will now be recorded.
So yesterday record you got, right, both of you?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So is there any doubt on the responsive part? Ananta, you didn't join yesterday class, right?
Right.
Have you gone through it?
I'm sorry.
Have you gone through the video?
Not yet, but I will check. I'm a little busy with some work, so I didn't get chance to look. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Fine. Okay. So that is why our next topic is the Bootstrap. Okay, as I said before.
Okay.
So the Get Bootstrap website is the official website. Okay, the Bootstrap website is developed by the Twitter company. Okay, so the Bootstrap website is completely we are using for the responsive web design. Okay, for example, mobile responsive. Okay, tablet and medium devices and large scale like high resolution devices. Okay, so all the devices, all the resolution, the website should be work and properly in the responsive way. So like one application or one website for any device and any size of screen. Okay, so that is the main concept the Bootstrap for. Here they said the build fast responsive sites with Bootstrap. Okay, quickly design and customize responsive mobile the first sites with the Bootstrap, the world's most popular front-end open source toolkit. You can say front-end open source framework also. Okay, the featuring SaaS variables and mixing responsive grid system, extensive pre-built components. So here we have a lot of pre-built components. Okay, for example, like navigation part. Okay, like suppose image related, tablet tables related. Okay, and some alerts, drop downs, buttons. Okay, like progress bars, like and that is what mm, that is like a pop-up box. Yeah, pop-up box. Okay, like a small pop-up box. Okay, so these are all like carousel. These are all predefined components. So for this we have some ready-made code on the Bootstrap website. We can copy that and we can use our web page. Okay, and we can update our content. Okay, and we can do any customization of that. Okay, so here mainly we can save a lot of time. So instead of writing very basic code, basic structure, all the CSS, HTML, you can use these pre-built components. Okay, and we can save the time and it will work very 100% with responsive. Okay, without writing single line CSS, the responsive will work on all the devices. So for the responsive purpose, we are going to use some grid classes in the Bootstrap. Grid classes means I teach you already in the responsive section. You can say grid or you can say column also.
Yeah.
You remember?
Yeah.
Okay. So in the responsive first, I created one column and applied some width value, margins, padding, like that. Okay, so that is like column or grid. You can say the column or grid for making the layout in responsive. Okay, that is like user-defined class. That is like manually we are doing. But here in the Bootstrap, we have ready-made classes for the layout of your website. We have grid classes, like 5 grid classes are there. Just if you apply those grid classes, the response will work automatically. No need to write any single line CSS also. With the Bootstrap class only, you will get the response web page. Just you are going to apply the classes to your content. Okay, so those classes, like total 5 classes we have, like call SM, and call MD, call LG, call XM. Okay, so these are 5 grid classes for making the responsive layout. So the call means like very small device. Like a small device means like a smart device, below 5 or 600 less than resolution devices. Okay, that is looks like a horizontal. Horizontal means in the small device we are going to use 100% of it. Okay, not like 2 columns, 3 columns. It's only one column with 100% of width. Okay, so that is column for the mobile devices. And second one is column SM, that is above 700, above 600 resolution devices. Like you can say above 700 to 900 or 1000, you can say call SM. Okay, and other three is like call MD, call LG, call XL. These three is high resolution devices. Okay, like medium desktop, large desktop, and extra large desktop, like any smart TV, any high resolution devices, we're going to use these three classes for making the responsive layout. Okay, so let me go through here one by one. Yeah, here they said how to install or how to add the Bootstrap to your web page. Okay, so here they said install Bootstrap source source and JavaScript files via npm composer or meter. Okay, so here actually they given the command npm node package manage, that is when we're using the Angular. Okay, so in the Angular we are going to use command npm install Bootstrap. This is actually Angular command. Okay, suppose if you want to install or download directly, we can download locally those files. Let me check that. Yeah, here it is. Okay, from here the Bootstrap CDN. When you have when you only need to include Bootstrap compiled CSS or JS, you can use Bootstrap CDN. So Bootstrap CDN, Bootstrap Content Delivery Network. Okay, so why? Because all the CSS and JavaScript files, they are hosted in their server. Okay, and they are saying use this link to the Bootstrap CSS and Bootstrap JavaScript will apply to your website. So that is called they said content delivery network for the CDN means. Okay, so or you can download the files locally. You can store in your system, and you can link as a local file. The both is the same, but when you are working on offline, if there is no internet, these links will not work. Okay, so that's why we are going to download and using local the CSS and JavaScript. Okay, so this CSS, this is the CSS style sheet. Okay, and jQuery, and the third one is also JavaScript. They introduced from the Bootstrap 4 the popper. Okay, for the model box and all, the popper effect and all, model box and all. Okay, and there's the last one is the Bootstrap CS, Bootstrap JavaScript. Okay, so if you have these 4 links on your web page, all Bootstrap features and the components, okay, and the responsive, everything will work. Once you link these 4 documents in your web page, no need to write any single line CSS. Just you can copy some pre-built components from the Bootstrap itself, and you can paste in your document and update with your content. Okay, and it will work on the web page. Okay, that is like a some kind of template. So every website should be different, like look wise, okay, or content wise. So for that we are going to customize. So for the customization purpose, we are going to use our own CSS. Like you can say custom CSS. You can create one document, custom CSS or main.css. Okay, and in that style sheet you can write your CSS and you can apply. When you are applying your CSS, sometimes the Bootstrap will be overwrite. Suppose if you create the same class, suppose for example the Bootstrap one class is there, the container. Okay, with the same name, if you create with your in your style sheet, the both classes will be conflict. Okay, so first of all, we need to know about the Bootstrap classes for the layout purpose, the text purpose, image purpose, okay, or any other specific requirement, and then you can create your custom class. You can apply that for the customization purpose. Okay, so like you can link like this CDN links, or you can download locally and you can use the local files. Okay, here the Bootstrap icons. Okay, for the first time ever, Bootstrap has its own open source SVG icon library. The design to work best with our components and the documentation. Okay, again here actually the Bootstrap. Okay, this is 4.5, right? Okay, so actually the Bootstrap 4 is not available. The icons they are suggested the font awesome. I teach you about the font awesome. Do you remember?
Yes.
Okay, so in the Bootstrap 4 there is no any icons. I mean Bootstrap icons is not there in the 4 version. In the 4.5 they introduced again the Bootstrap icons. Okay, now we need to go for the font awesome for the icons purpose. From the Bootstrap itself we can use the icons. Just applying the class. Okay, the Bootstrap icons are designed to work best with the Bootstrap components, but they will work in any project. They are SVGs, so they scale quickly and easily. Can implement it in several ways and can be styled with CSS. It's a pure CS only. Just you have to link the above 4 style sheets and JavaScript jQuery. Okay, and by CSS, all the icons is available. Just you are going to apply the relative icon class. How we done in the font awesome. The same way we are going to apply the icon class in the item. Okay, and the official themes. Yeah, official themes. This is like some premium template they are selling online. Okay, that is a different thing. Suppose if you want to buy any some premium template, you just go to the premium section and you can buy any template. They will provide all the source code, HTML, CSS, JavaScript. If there is any design like a Photoshop, Illustrator, everything they will provide, and you can use those templates. That is like an online selling part. Okay, so let me go through one by one here. The next one here, the documentation. Get started with Bootstrap, the world's most popular. Okay, so this is done already. The quick start. Looking for quickly add Bootstrap to your project. Is Bootstrap CDN provided by the folks of Stackpath. Okay, using the package manager or need to download the source file. Okay. Yeah, suppose if you download the files, okay, this is the path. You know already of how to link the style sheet in the HTML page. Okay, using the link tag in the head section. Okay, you can give the path of your CSS. Okay, and this is CSS part, and this is the JavaScript. So here they given the 3 files for the JavaScript. Why? Because the first one is jQuery. Actually, why the jQuery required here? If you ask, so because the Bootstrap JS, the last one, the Bootstrap JS was done from the jQuery. Okay, based on the JavaScript jQuery features using the jQuery components, methods, events. Okay, based on the jQuery JavaScript, the Bootstrap.js was created. So first we need the jQuery, and this is option. Any suppose some specific requirement you have, you can use this. Otherwise, you can ignore the popover JS. Okay, but the jQuery and the Bootstrap JS is must. These 2 files. Okay, so this is like CSS and JavaScript and how to link add your web pages. Use which components explicitly required. Okay. Start template. Yes, here they given the complete page template code from the doc type HTML. Okay. So here what they said, be sure to have your pages set up with the latest design and development standards. That means using an HTML5 doc type and including viewport, meta tag for proper responsive behaviors. Okay, so proper responsive behaviors like CSS and JavaScript. For the responsive purpose, we are using the CSS. For the behavior purpose, we are using JavaScript for the client interaction, client or user interaction. Okay, put it all together, and our pages should look like this. So in the head section, what we have done, the required meta tags, character set, and the metonym viewport. Okay, that is fine. And in the head section, Bootstrap CSS. They have given CDN link from their server, https stackpath.bootstrapcdn.com, bootstrap.css. Okay, so that is online link. The file is coming from their server, and you can use like this also. Online link. We used already before in a couple of examples, HTML5 template and some other HTML class also. Okay, and in the body section, just they used one h1 tag and some text, hello world. Okay, on the bottom of the page, jQuery, pop.js, and Bootstrap buttons. So this is complete HTML like a Bootstrap template code. Okay, by using this template code, you can use all the Bootstrap CSS, the layout purpose, text purpose, and any some specific like model pop-ups, popovers, okay, image related. Okay, all the CSS available in your webpage. Okay, and when we starting the code, I will use this template and I will show you that example how it is working. Okay, that is started template. Important globals. Important globals here. The Bootstrap employs a handful important global styles and settings that you will need to be aware of when using it, all of which are almost exclusively geared towards the normalization of cross-border styles. Let's dive in. Okay, so here they are saying about the latest HTML5. The HTML5 doc type. The Bootstrap requires the use of the HTML5 doc type. Without it, you will see some funky, incomplete styling. But including, it should not cause any considerable cuts. Okay, so before actually, the Bootstrap is developed on the HTML4 only, before versions like Bootstrap 1, 2, 3. Okay, all these versions of the Bootstrap developed in the HTML4 environment. Okay, from the Bootstrap 4, you can use the HTML5 also. So in the HTML5, we have a lot of features, new tags, new attributes, and all for some basic styling, for the basic functionality. We have a lot of tags, attributes in the HTML5. Okay, for this kind of requirement, in the Bootstrap 3, we are going to apply a lot of CSS. So now Bootstrap in the Bootstrap 4, that class is not required because that all basic CSS, basic styling functionality is coming by from the HTML5 itself. Just you can use the HTML5 tags and you can apply more attributes. Okay, with meaningful tags as I teach you in the HTML5. Okay. So even the HTML5 will work in the Bootstrap 4 and all other, not only HTML5, all other like tags, attributes, or elements. Okay, all this work in the Bootstrap 4. Like that means the latest version of HTML5. Okay, and the responsive meta tag. Okay, this I teach you already from the starting itself, I teach the response to meta tag, viewport meta tag to your head. Okay, so this meta we need to add in our HTML head section, right? Okay, you can see an example of this in action in the starter template. Yes. Okay, here we have the meta name viewport. Okay, the box sizing. Box sizing also I teach you in the where on creating the projects in the HTML5 template and in the image section. Okay, so that I teach you already about the box sizing. For more straightforward sizing in CSS, we switch the global box sizing value from content box to border box. Okay, this ensures padding does not affect the final computed width of element. Okay, so do you remember I teach about the box sizing?
Yeah.
Nanta Apurva?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So as they said, that does not affect the final computed width of an element. Okay, so when you apply the border box, the all like padding value and any like a border value, it will be included within your box width. It won't increase or it won't extend of your box width. Okay, like this we can use the box sizing. Okay, here they said one class here, the selector for some widget. So this is like some selector, the class name, and they use the box sizing content box. Okay, and here box sizing selector. Okay, before after the reboot. What is reboot? For improved cross-browser rendering, we use reboot to correct inconsistencies across the browser. Okay, HTML element by providing slightly more opinionated resets to common HTML elements. Okay, so this is not required. The community. Okay, so this is for the support community means to stay up to date on the development Bootstrap and reach out to the community with the helpful resources. Okay. See, on the left side and the right side, they're given some getting started, introduction, and download contents, browser and devices, JavaScript, LaTeX, all this. The layout section, content, components. Okay, so all these will go one by one, writing the and creating a Bootstrap page. Okay, let me go to the examples from the navigation. Yeah, here they provide some, as I said before, the pre-built components. Okay, you can use the pre-built components from this website, or you can download some examples, a complete template based. Okay, here they said to quickly get a project started with any of our examples, ranging from using parts of framework to custom components and layouts. Okay, so you can download these examples by clicking here. No need to registration, no need to license. There's no any license. Okay, you can just click on these buttons and you can download. Okay, and here is the custom components. Once you download these files, or like you will get like this kind of templates, the brand new components and templates to help folks quickly get started with Bootstrap and demonstrate best practices for adding onto the framework. So this is like one kind of example, and this is one kind of example, and this is one kind of example. Okay, so here almost some 15 to 18, like a 4, 4, 8, 3. Okay, 11, 3, 14. No, now these are now our examples. Okay, around we have the 20 templates. All templates different styling, different page structure. Okay, from this you can pick any one which is suitable for your requirement, and you can use the template for like a web page or template or like a dashboard. Okay, like any some kind of specific requirement, like suppose e-commerce related website or blog related, okay, or dashboard related. Okay, you can pick any template which is suitable for you, and you can use the template on your page. So these are all like completely free, and you can use your personal, you can use your project works also for like client requirement also, you can use these templates. Okay, there is no any problem. Okay, you can use in the free, all like these are all templates. Like a framework related, this is only in the navbar related. Okay, so if you see websites, each and every websites, the navbars look different look wise. Okay, somebody they will use like this on the left side, and somebody they will use at the center, and somebody they will use on the right side. Okay, each and every website, the navigation is different look and feel, because uh, the navigation is important, very important in the web page, because the user is accessing the all the website pages by the navigation. Like for example, home sorry, home documentation, sorry, the home documentation, examples, icons, themes, export, blah. Okay, so this is our website navigation. Okay, by clicking on home documentation, we are going to the page. So that is like interaction part, like main point of any website. So navigation is the main role in your website. Okay, so like here we have different type of navigation with the different colors, with the different styling and all. Here they given the 4 different examples navbars, like the different layout. Okay, and the navbar static, and the third one is navbar fixed bottom, last one is navbar bottom. Okay, you can use any navigation section experiments, like some any specific requirement, like for example, if you want to log in screen login module, just you can copy this code and it goes. And this is like kind of for the chat message maybe. Okay, so turn your expandable navbar into a sliding of canvas menu. Okay, they said here the off canvas menu. Like here on the navigation section, you have the off canvas menu, and the window is you have some like kind of chart window. Okay, if you have any some chart requirement, so you want to create like a chart component, chart modules, you can use this also for this. Okay, and these are the examples. Go to further with the Bootstrap things. Again, here they introduced about the premium themes. Yeah, icons already teach you about the font or some icons, and Bootstrap icons also. For the first time ever, Bootstrap has its own icon library. Okay, design and build of components and documentation. They given here the all the icon examples, visuals, alarm. Okay, alarm fill, alarm without fill. Okay, you have the 2 different styling of alarm icons. One with the fill color. Okay, one without fill color, just like outline. Okay, like this we have a lot of icons. Just you have to apply the class, that icon class, wherever you want. Here again they introduce around in the Bootstrap 3 they have provided only 5 to 600 icons only, but here they increased. It's around 2000 above icons maybe. Okay, yeah, this is like an Angular command, npm install Bootstrap usage embed, like this svg. Okay, So this is sprite means this different way. External image. Okay. CSS working with the switch. Okay. So this is icon related. You know, we used already the font of some icons in the Bootstrap also. We can use from the Bootstrap itself. Okay, themes means that is premium themes. No need to know about this. Okay, and themes and expo and blog. Okay, expo and blog means this is additional information. This Twitter group and the Bootstrap team will organize some meetings global wise, and they are going to put some events about technologies like whatever the Bootstrap framework and other frameworks. Okay, about the developers, about the clients. They are putting some events. Okay, that is relating to the expo and blog, and so many news, latest news they are going to post in the blog section. Okay, so here no need to learn anything. So I call the blog section. That is just information about the Bootstrap, about the latest news and all. Okay, here they said the Bootstrap icons alpha 5, 26 January 20. Okay, so the recently the added the Bootstrap icons on John 26 June 20. Recently they added. It's around 1 month. Okay, before we don't have on the Bootstrap 1, Bootstrap 2. Again, Bootstrap 3 they introduced some they given one name like glyph icons. Okay, and again the Bootstrap 4 they suggested the font of some icons, and again from the Bootstrap 4.5 they introduced again this icons. Okay, and these are all the examples. 1,000 icons. Yeah, I mentioned the 1,000 plus icons. These are all latest information about your Bootstrap framework. Okay, with version wise. The table, BS table, BG, style BG. Okay. Improved customizing tasks. Okay, and color examples, updated forms. Okay, so this is just information about the framework. Suppose if you want to know more about the Bootstrap framework, okay, you can go through the blog section in theory. Okay, so this is like just about some brief about the Bootstrap framework. Okay, what is the Bootstrap? Why we are using the Bootstrap? Okay, what are the technologies in the Bootstrap? Technologies means HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Only these three. There is no any other technologies. Like it's completely front end and open source framework. Okay, so is it clear in this? Any doubt? Ananda and Apurva?
No.
No, it's clear.
Okay. Okay, fine. So as I said before, what is the template? The basic template. Yeah. First, I will create one page. Okay. So first, I will create one folder for the Bootstrap. It is folder. Okay, so these are all like about HTML and CSS and HTML5 template. Okay, from here I will create one new folder for the Bootstrap. Again, all files will get conflict. I will create one new folder for the Bootstrap. Bootstrap folder. So inside the Bootstrap folder, I am going to keep all the files, the Bootstrap framework files. Okay, the CSS, the JavaScript, Okay, these are all files I'm going to, the jQuery one I'm going to put inside this folder, Bootstrap folder. Okay, so first I'm going to download the Bootstrap framework by clicking on the top right. You have the button icon, the download button. Okay, just click on this. Okay, so let me click on this Bootstrap. What is saying, something is saying here, download ready to use compiled for Bootstrap 4.050 easily drop into your project with which includes, okay, compiled and minified CSS bundles, compiled and minified JavaScript plugins. Okay, this doesn't include documentation, source files, or any optional JavaScript dependencies, jQuery and Purple.js. Okay, this doesn't include documentation. Okay, for documentation they don't provide for jQuery and Purple. Okay. You can just click on this button. Yeah, it's downloaded. So, just I'm going to copy this folder. In the Bootstrap. This is our local folder just created. Where it is? Yeah. So this is our Bootstrap framework source file. The Bootstrap 4.5.0. Okay, just extract this file. Yeah, here they given only the CSS and JavaScript, only two. Okay, in the CSS folder you will have the bootstrap.css, and then the JavaScript we have the jQuery, the popover JS, and bootstrap.js. Only these two folders just you can copy from this Bootstrap framework and just go to your Bootstrap folder. Okay, you can paste it. Okay, now these two is not required. Let me remove it. Okay, so now in our Bootstrap folder we have the CSS folder and JS folder, and other folders we can create for the images, for any other media, and that is based on your requirement you can create other subfolders. Okay, and mainly for the Bootstrap purpose we need to use Bootstrap CSS. Okay, and the second one JavaScript, jQuery, and pop-up JS. So here they given the three files here. See, the Bootstrap bundle, okay, the Bootstrap bundle min, the bootstrap.js, and Bootstrap min JavaScript. Okay, so like you can use the bundle one for all the JavaScript, jQuery, and this one the pop also. So that is like complete bundle file. Okay, in the same way we can use the Bootstrap CSS. This is the development version, and suppose if you want to use like a production version you can use the min file. So the min file means that is a compiled version. I have seen, I will show you already the development version and production version, and like where I given that example. Yeah, maybe in the starting of the HTML5 template in the slider section, maybe I given that example. Okay, I will show you a difference between the the development version and compiled version. Okay, so from this folder mainly we are going to use the bootstrap.css. Okay, and from the JS we are going to use the bundle, the JavaScript bundle. Okay, so let me use that basic template as they given their web page. Where is that template? Download documentation. Yeah, here they given one starter template. Okay, without writing a single line of HTML, single line of CSS. Okay, we can use the Bootstrap framework by copying this template code, the starter template. All the Bootstrap CSS available in your template. Okay, so let me copy this. Now I'm going to create a new document inside our Bootstrap. Where is our Bootstrap? Yes. Okay, so let me create one, like you can say, index.html. Okay, that is my HTML page. Okay, let me paste the code, the starter template code. Okay. In this we have all some the basic structure of HTML code and the Bootstrap CSS link and some text in the body section. Okay, and other JavaScript jQuery links as well. Okay, so here let me open on the browser this. Yeah, the page is, the starter template is ready with some hello world text. So here the mainly the CSS is applied from the Bootstrap. Okay, so how it is applying? So we have the CSS link, it's coming from the Bootstrap server. Okay, and I use some hello world on the title. Okay, and in the body section I have hello world body content, which is displaying in our web page. Okay, and others JavaScript related. Okay, but here how you can say the Bootstrap is applied and the Bootstrap is working, because I didn't apply any class and HTML tag, just I link the Bootstrap CSS. So how it is working? So how the Bootstrap CSS apply into our H1 text, that is a hello world. Okay, did you guess anything, Ananta and Apurva?
Can you repeat that?
What, Apurva?
What are you asking?
That is how the Bootstrap is applying, because I didn't apply any CSS class, right? Here there is no any Bootstrap CSS class here in the H1 text. Only I use the H1 tag and I write some hello world text. Okay, and in the result we can see some Bootstrap font, Bootstrap text color, Bootstrap font size, and spacing. Okay, so all these apply from the Bootstrap, right? So how the Bootstrap is applying? I didn't apply any classes.
Because of the style sheet?
Yeah, because of style sheet. Okay, and but I didn't apply any some Bootstrap classes here. So that means we have some ready-made classes, like a predefined classes, like custom, like user-defined class also in the Bootstrap. Once you apply the classes, it will apply. And another is all the HTML tags, like from H1 to H6, anchors, okay, and list items, all other like input related, all text related tags, image related tags, and content related tags, they added in their Bootstrap. Okay, and they applied some basic style like font size, color, font name, like a Bootstrap font they apply. Okay, so let me give one example here. So that is H1 example. Let me use some anchor here, anchor href, dummy link, Bootstrap hyperlink. Okay, let me show you this example how it is displaying. See here. So this is the Bootstrap hyperlink. So for the hyperlink, for the anchor tag, they added one different blue color, and the default underline is removed, and they given mouse over underline. Right. So that means when you use any HTML tags, some basic styling also will apply, like H1, like hyperlink. All the HTML tags they added in the Bootstrap style sheet, and they apply some basic style. Okay, for the layout purpose, okay, and some custom requirement purpose, we are going to use the Bootstrap classes. So here, suppose if you want to create like a 3 equal columns, we have to use the grid classes. Okay, I teach you already in the starting the grid classes, like call sm, call md, xl, lg, like this. These are all grid classes. You have to apply the HTML tag, otherwise it will not. Okay, so all the HTML structural tags they used in the Bootstrap, and they have applied some basic CSS to the tags. So when you use your HTML tags, so by default then some CSS will apply from your Bootstrap. Okay, so this is our Bootstrap example, and some Bootstrap is applying here. Okay, so let me put on the comment the Bootstrap CSS. Now the Bootstrap is not available. Okay, now it is just like a plain HTML content. See, this is the plain HTML without any CSS, without Bootstrap. So this is the default color, default size, default font, and the spacing surrounding the text. Okay, and hyperlink default styling with underline with a dark blue. Okay, so this is basic HTML content without Bootstrap. Again, I'm going to put on the Bootstrap CSS. Okay, the Bootstrap is applied. Simple. Suppose here we have some ready-made classes. Let me say here, I'll remove this Bootstrap button. Suppose if you want to create one button, okay, so you need to write a lot of CSS for making that button. Like for example, background color, paddings, margins, borders, and mouse over section. Okay, and some animation purpose. So you need to write a lot of CSS in this. Okay, but here in the Bootstrap we have some ready-made classes. For the button purpose, we are going to use the button, that is the base class, and here you can say the button, let's say here success or something. Okay, so these two classes, like a button and button success, is the two classes from the Bootstrap. These two is the predefined classes in the Bootstrap. Okay, so the btn is the base class, and button success is the styling of your button. Okay, let me check what is display. No, it's not applying. Is it right? Yeah, it's working, but only the class problem only. Here, let me check this. Okay, let me check here the class button. Okay, btn is the base class, button dark, danger, success also should be there. And it is LG light, outline danger. Yeah, here it is there. Button outline success. Button outline warning, button primary, secondary. Okay, so they introduce some new classes for the new styling on the button section. Okay, so let me apply the button outline secondary. Okay, outline success. Okay, so this is the button outline success on the Bootstrap 4.5. Okay, let me check this. See, so now we have a button with a nice color. Okay, with a nice look and feel, like borders, the background, and the font size. Okay, and the space. Okay, and when you mouse over, you can see the difference. Here you are going to apply the text color and background color and apply the animation also a little bit. The transition is happening on mouse over. Okay, so once you apply this, just these two Bootstrap class button outline success. So here this is the result. So that means here I didn't write any single line of CSS, single line of any HTML. Okay, except this hyperlink. Okay, so you will get this kind of result. So like this, you have a lot of example codes, as I said, in the template section. Here it is, examples. Yes. Okay, so here you have some around 20 about different kind of templates you have. You can download and you can use it, and you can use for the practice also. Okay, just pick some good 3 to 4 different layouts and start practice on it. Okay, and this is the predefined and the free template. And coming to the example code that I said, pre-built components. Okay, let me go through it. For the layout, and we can say the content also, content of components. Let's say here some navigation example here. List proof media model maps navbar. Yes, navbar is a one component here. Yeah, here is the some navbar example. Okay, so let me use this code. So just I'm going to paste the in the body section. Here, let's say Bootstrap navigation example. Okay, so just I'm going to use the navigation code here. Okay, so let me check how it is response. See, now we have ready-made navigation with coding, with CSS, with other features like drop downs as well. Drop down example here, and some search requirement, text box and button search, all this. Okay, so this is some pre-built component in the Bootstrap for the navigation purpose. Okay, so here in the navbar section, you can write your company name, or so, you can add your company logo image in here. Okay, so let's say just add your content, writing by here. Let's say here navbar here. Okay, so here you can say the company, and you can change your links also. Home is the default for any website, and link, let me say about us. Okay, and these are the drop downs. Let's say here, instead of the drop down, you can say services. and you can list out all your services in the drop down. And here you can say products or something. And the last one, do you have any last? Yeah, this is the last one, contact products, or you can say the contact also, and keep it the same thing like the search box, text box, and button. Let me check. Okay, just add my content with the Bootstrap document. Home, about us, services. Here you can list out all your service names. Okay, and the products or contact us. And the right side you have the search box. So like this, all for any requirement of website. It's like a single page or small web page or any large scale website, e-commerce website, dashboards related, any blog section, any kind of requirement. You have all the predefined, the pre-built components. Here you can find out all the pre-built components. Okay, so these are all like content layout. Okay, and the text related, image related, button related, like headers related, cards, carousel, slider, collapse, drop downs, forms related. So all the predefined components are available. Just we are going to use these components, and you can add your content, and you can apply your custom CSS for making the different kind of layouts. Okay, and with it, and this is with responsive, not only for desktop, this navigation. As I said before, once you add the Bootstrap framework to your website, that response will apply by default. Okay, so let me check on the mobile and other devices. Inspect and toggle the button. Yeah, now we can see. Let me go to the Galaxy S5 with 100%. See, left side is the company name. Okay, that is company name is common for all the devices. Okay, and the navigation in the largest screen was placed on side by side, home, about, services, like that you can see directly. But when come to the mobile, it's a small screen, we cannot place side by side because mobile device very small resolution, like 500 pixels, 600 pixels only. So in this device, I'm going to display the navigation this way. Just I'm going to put one button. Okay, just click on the button. The navigation is done. And second section, service drop down is also. Okay, so everything is working with responsive, with the functionality also. Okay, let me check other device, suppose iPad. The iPad also, it's working fine. Okay, so that means when you apply the Bootstrap framework to your web page, the responsive interaction and behaviors, everything will work in your web page. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So this is like somewhat like theoretical and some examples how to use the Bootstrap. Why we are using the Bootstrap framework. What are the Bootstrap technologies? Okay, and predefined components and the free templates how to use. Okay, just go to the template section and you can just download it. And you can choose the best one and you can do the practice on this. So by the time I'm going to teach one by one all Bootstrap components, how to use, how to customize, all like text related, layout related, image related, forms related, all of this. I'll teach you one by one. Okay, so is it clear, Ananda and Apurva? Is there any doubts?
No.
Okay, so tomorrow onwards I will create one by one. I will start from the navigation section. Okay, I will cover all the topics. Okay.
Sure.
Okay, bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.